Hello and welcome to Made4Me. I am your host, Ellis, and I am an educational technology enthusiast who really enjoys inspiring other people, talking about topics that I think might help other people in some way or another, and just trying to make the world a better place through things that interest me and sharing that interest with others. I work a lot with educational technology. I'm a director at a university. I work with a learning management system. I do instructional design. I am an AI strategist, but I also am a person who is very compassionate and caring. I like to think, like, toot my own horn. And I I just want to try to make the world a better place. And I think we need more of that out in the world right now. It's scary, and I'm very nervous about getting started and just having these conversations. At first, it's just going to be me. I might bring some guests on, depending on the topic. But it's not just going to be educational. There's so much happening in the world, and it needs to be talked about in a way that can be not too serious and just a casual conversation where you can just not feel so stressed about hearing the information, and we can actually talk with one another. And I just want to try to put that positivity out in the world. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast, I highly recommend it. In the future episodes, they're going to be fun, they're going to be engaging, they're going to be pop culture, video games. There's a lot of stuff that I like to talk about and I want to advocate for. I just have to find the right time for that in those conversations. So I'm really excited for it, and I hope you join me for the ride. And this podcast is made for me to get things off my chest, but I'm hoping that eventually it's going to be made for you too, so that it's kind of a community we have together. So, yeah, very excited. So that's me. That's who I am. That's what I hope for this podcast. I think with my career, just so you guys have a little bit more backstory, I have a master's in learning designs and technology. My undergraduate degree is in English. So I am also a college professor in a school of education. I'm an adjunct. Weird terminology. I don't know which one to use usually. I'm an adjunct instructor. I teach a couple courses where we integrate technology into teaching and learning. I also get to host lots of workshops for faculty on teaching and learning and kind of inspire education to be fun. That's my goal in life, is to make learning experiences fun, useful, and people really start seeing the value in education. But that's a conversation for another time. And with that, I want to talk about where my career kind of changed. So, November of 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT to the general public. I was obsessed with it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was the next revolutionary tool for higher education and just the world in general. And we started using it regularly to do course development, to promote critical thinking for our learners, and just provide some chat-based scenarios programmed by AI so students have the simulated experience before going into the real-world experience. And it's been really fun, and it's changed a lot for me and opened a lot of doors. I've been able to do a lot of presentations. I've done a couple podcasts and been guest on a couple podcasts. So it's really inspired me to see what I can do next and what's the next step for me in this educational technology journey, but also the journey of my career in this world that we're all experiencing together. So that's just me. Right now, I'm going to talk about the 3 video games that I think are probably my favorite go-to video games right now. I am a huge video gamer. I love it. I have this setup in here because of it. I love Star Wars. We collect pop figures. It's just very fun for me to live and experience all these different video game worlds and realities, and it's just so great for times like this. And I really got into it during COVID with Animal Crossing. That was probably one of the best experiences during that time for me, was just getting to play Animal Crossing with people and still get to have that connection even though we had so much distance between us. So right now I think my top 3 games for playing right now, I just got into World of Warcraft. If I say right now one more time, I got into World of Warcraft and it's amazing. I did not want to play it for several years because I was an Elder Scrolls Online player and I was like, this one's better. And I still think Elder Scrolls Online has its own benefits and stands up on its own. But World of Warcraft, there's something special about that community and how people play that game together, and I've really enjoyed it. So Fortnite, I've always had a obsession with Fortnite. I have breaks where I don't play it as much, but I think that's normal when you're a long-term player for any game. And it's probably the longest played game I have that I continuously go back to. And then this one's not out yet, but I'm really excited for it. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is a park world builder, and I'm just very excited for that game and want to see what's going to happen there. And it's got a lot of cool world building elements, and it's so cool to see how video games can take these technologies so far. I just really enjoy it and seeing this progression in the video game world. But that is the main 3 games I've been playing or going to, and I've been having a lot of fun with. For the last bit of this episode, I just want to talk to you guys about Disney. So I think there's a lot going on with Disney and some television programming and just everything with that, and you probably have experienced it already in the news and seen some of that stuff. But what's really interesting to me is Disney has a lot of projects coming out in the near future that they are banking a lot of support for, specifically the new Avengers movies that are going to be coming out. I think a lot is riding on those. They recently did the cinematic trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu too, so I think there's a lot riding on that movie as well for the overall Disney fan base for those 2 major licenses, because Marvel and Star Wars to me are humongo part of the Disney brand. So if those don't perform well, I'm interested to see what they do with them in the future and how they come back from all of this, because I love Disney as a company. I am a Disney World fanatic. We're going to have a whole episode on Disney. We're going to have multiple episodes on Disney. It's a great company, and I truly believe in what they provide. I just think there's times when people make mistakes, and then we see what happens with those mistakes. And I think we'll see that with these next big movies to see what's going to happen. I'm also interested to see if their Disney Plus subscriptions pop back up, because I did see with Jimmy Kimmel coming back that he did in his monologue a little joke about how to reactivate your Disney and Hulu account. And I thought that was so funny, because it's part of the conversation now. That's how people are getting their voices heard, is through canceling subscriptions. Money does talk. So it's interesting that that's the kind of realm we're in right now. We're just getting started, and I'm interested to see where this journey takes us. Life's hectic, and I'm trying. I really do want to try to make a larger impact on the world and bring some positivity and some joy and just make people laugh a little and have a good time. Just relax. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode. I hope you had a great time. Make sure to check me out over on YouTube, subscribe, check us out on Spotify, and follow the podcast to stay up to date with everything that's happening and when our next episode will drop. Bye-bye.